Manchester City will enter next season's Champions League as reigning champions, but it is set to be the final campaign of the competition as we know it. The new Swiss model will be introduced for the 2024-25 season, and it is likely to benefit Premier League sides, boost UEFA's money and see a lot more games with little meaning played in autumn. From 2024 to 25, UEFA's new Swiss format will be introduced, and the planned alterations have already divided opinion. It will mean more games for players already nearing breaking point, but the governing body, who signed off on the proposals at a meeting in Vienna last season, forecasts that it will lead to the competition's revenue being boosted by 33%. The usual suspects will be battling it out come spring, but UEFA's grand plan is going to see more games across autumn and a longer path to separate the wheat from the chaff. There will be 36 participating clubs, up from 32, who will play 189 matches instead of the current 125 in an elongated league phase that will replace the group stage. Every team will play 8 games, 4 at home and 4 away against different opponents. The top 8 teams in the league will automatically progress to the round of 16, with the sides finishing between 9th and 24th competing in a seeded 2-legged playoff. From there the competition will progress as the norm. Essentially, there will be more less meaning games before the real competitive games start, with 160 matches required to reach the last 16. Who gets the extra 4 spots? Will there be more English teams involved? 4 places for Premier League sides are guaranteed, and it is almost certain a 5th will be invited too. That is because 2 of the 4 spots will go to the leagues with the highest total coefficient preceding season, meaning as it stands a place for England and another for Spain. If the changes were being implemented next season, that would have meant a spot for Liverpool despite their disappointing campaign. That has not been a popular decision among other league executives, though an initial plan to base it on the coefficient across several years was shelved. But one of the remaining spots will go to the team that finishes 3rd in the league with the 5th highest coefficient. That would go to France, where 3rd must currently enter the qualifying rounds. And the 4th spot is reserved for an extra team from the Champions Path side of the qualifiers. Money, unsurprisingly. Players and head coaches will roll their eyes at the prospect of additional fixtures, but having more games means additional revenue. Broadcasters will need to pay more to show extra games. Clubs will bank more in gate receipts. Sponsors will cough up extra for increased opportunities to show their logos to an audience of millions. The Champions League currently generates €3.6 billion, £3.1 billion per season, and UEFA competitions director Giorgio Marchetti recently said, "We are working on both conservative and more optimistic projections in a range, I would say, between €4.6 billion and €4.8 billion. How the money will be distributed remains to be seen, however, with talks around that element ongoing.